Welcome back to another episode of Musings podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Mildred, and I'm so happy that you've joined me on another Wednesday for another amazing episode. Before I get onto today's episode, I'm going to talk about this part more in the next, Saturday's episode, because I'll be talking about life. I just want to give my condolences to the Molo Odinga family, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga's family. Because of their loss and the loss to Kenyans. I just want to tell my fellow Kenyans, I'm so sorry for the loss. I'm condoling with you, and I'm here with you. I'm right there in the pain with you. And I know it has been a while since it happened, but grief is grief. It doesn't go just because somebody is already buried. It carries on and it comes in different waves. I don't know what has happened since, because by the time I'm recording this, he has just been buried yesterday, because I'm recording this on Monday night. And he was buried yesterday on Sunday. And so, I don't know, by the time this will be coming out, it will already be in November. So a lot can happen in this country of ours. Like within a week, within 2 weeks, a lot can happen. So I just want to say I'm so sorry, and I send my condolences to the family and to the entire nation of Kenya. May we heal, may we be able to move on, but may we never forget the heart that he had, how he fought for our country, how he stood by us, even when we were judging him, even when we were thinking he's crossed over to the other side, he's no longer supporting us. As people say during most of the speeches, he was a human being. Of course, he did a couple of things wrong here and there. And for that, he acknowledged it. And at the end of the day, you might want to remember those few things that he did wrong, but what we have to remember is his history. Him passing has shown us all of the things that he has done. Let me stop this part at this, because I'll talk about it more in the next episode. I just wanted to send my condolences to the family and to his friends and to his party members and to Kenyans as a whole. So, yeah. Tuko pamoja in the pain, in the disbelief, and in all of that. So I'm going to get on to today's episode. So on today's episode, I'm going to be giving a review of the Nigerian dramedy Chief Daddy 2, Going for Broke. Now, before I get to the cast, I just want to say that this movie, it wasn't as crazy as Chief Daddy 1. It was a little bit complicated, and I saw some other reviewers saying that they didn't have to make it, it was bad, but I feel like it meant a little bit more. It's just that at the ending, there's something I didn't understand, and I'll discuss that at the end of this video, so stick around to listen to that. But yeah, I think I like this better than the first one, honestly, because it centered more on the younger characters and the development in this. So I love this one more than the first one, because the first one was a lot of noise all the time, a lot of noise. This one was crazy. I'm not saying that it was perfect, but it was better than the first one in my books. So yeah, Chief Daddy 2, Going for Broke, is a Nigerian dramedy written by Mo Abudu, Salah Sabiti, Hedi Uys, I don't know how you read that name, and it's directed by Niyi Akinmolayan. Now, I don't know which year it came out, because online it tells me that it's a 2022 movie, but on Netflix where I watched it, it says that it's a 2021 movie. So I'm a bit confused there. But it doesn't change anything, because, it's still funny, it's still amazing. The cast members are still mostly from the first one. So, yeah, they include Ini Edo. I've forgotten who she played. Ekenem, if I'm not mistaken. But I couldn't find her name in this part too. But I think it's Ekenem. But she didn't play a big part in this one. Most of the older people, they were just there, I don't know, to fill the seats. I don't know, they weren't talking too much. They didn't have a lot of lines. But yeah, so Funke Akindele plays Tinu. Patience Ozoko plays Madam Pat. Nkem Owo plays Shofa Donatus. Broda Shaggy plays Omar. Rahama Sadao plays Laila. Kate Hanshaw plays Tini. Shafi Bello plays Nike Williams. Uzo Arukwe plays Prince Sonny. Joke Silva plays Lady K. And with this one, I'm surprised as well because during the credits, they wrote Ajoke Silva. So I'm not sure if that's how you say it or if it's just Joke Silva. I'm not so sure. Like, if I usually pronounce her name wrong, forgive me. Dakore Akande plays Remy Castle. Okikiola Barakare, oh Jesus. Beverly Naya plays Adaora. Rachel Oniga plays, I think she's the aunt. And she's late, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's the one who passed on. Because post credits they show somebody, may she rest in peace. And somebody. So I think it's her. Beverly also plays Sandra B. Linda Ejofo plays Sissy Ice Cream. Nedu Wazobia plays Joro D. Mauli Gava plays Dami Baggio. Zainab Balogun plays Ireti. Chioma Omerua plays Chuchu. Chika Agui, she's the reporter, amongst other cast members. Now, if you like spoilers like me, go on with this video or listening to this wherever you are. If you do not like spoilers, leave, go to Netflix, watch the movie, then come back and tell me if you agree with me or if you do not, because this is your official spoiler alert. Now, as you know already, this is the continuation of Chief Daddy 1. So Chief Daddy 1 ends with them having been read to the will, Chief Daddy's will, and then they are told, actually, you're not going to get the money immediately because the company stayed in an IPO, and until it goes public, you're not going to be able to access all that money. So the only time you're going to be able to access the money is if the company goes public, and it's at the end of it, that's when you'll be able to access your money. And people were like, oh, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the movie, somebody comes into the compound, parks the car, and leaves the car to walk inside. That was Lila. And so part 2 starts with her. She's in the house. I think they were in the house and she was talking to them about the money that her dad. She's also one of Chief Daddy's daughters as well. So this man was very, very, is it promiscuous? Ama, what do you say? Because he had so many children from so many different women. And yes, he supported all of them. I'll give him that. But as Lila said at some point in the movie, like sending money here and there, it does not replace you being a dad. You have to be present for your children, because it made her become so, I don't know, upset with everybody or what it was, because she denied them the right to get their money. And so they met and she was talking down on them. Everybody, the family was there, apart from Dami Baggio. He's the one who wasn't there. That is played by Mauli Gava. He's the only one who wasn't there at the house, but everybody else was there, and they were talking about all of these things. And she was like, yeah, all of you just want to spend my father's money. You are this, you are that, blah, blah, blah. And they were complaining. They wanted to sue her and stuff for the will. And the lawyer tried to say something. By the way, Mr. Damijo didn't come back. He did not come back for this one. So his wife is the one who came back. That is Remy Castle. So Mr. Castle wasn't in this one. So Remy tried to say something, but the lady just laughed. Layla just laughed, and she was like, yeah, let's try and do that. We'll see. Like, it was so upsetting because, yes, I understand that their money was tied down. But I thought that it was going just to be the IPO, and once that's done, they're going to get the money. But she comes and says that she's the majority shareholder, and so she will not give them anything. And so life starts becoming hard for these people. So everybody moves on with their lives, but they're struggling. Lady K is struggling. I think she's the one who struggled the most, because her money always came from her husband, but now it's tied down to the company and she cannot get access to it. And it's like she didn't have any money of her own, like whatsoever. So she was so stressed. She has bills to pay, she cannot pay. And so her son took charge in this season, and I loved it so much. But yeah, so Femzi, that is Lady K's son, he took charge in this season and he tried. I know I said that in the first movie, the way he was singing was off, and it was for most of the part, but this time I think the song made more sense. It was a lot of noise for me. Like, I would never just sit and listen to that song ever. Like, if I was somewhere and it was playing, I would even bob my head to it because of the beat, but I wouldn't just like go and search it and listen to it. It's not my type of thing. But yeah, now that I listen to it in this second part, I think I sort of appreciated it a little bit more. But yeah, so he wants to he has recorded his music. He wants to make a movie. He wants to sell it to people. He wants to start making money from it so that he can be able to help his family, especially his mom. So his idea was he gets like a deal, a recording deal, and then he gets the money. Then, he can buy the company back from his sister, that is Layla, and then everybody will be happy. And he worked hard on it. He even put on a suit and went to the offices and spoke to people, like singing to them that was a wrong move. It was terrible. And went to Layla with a good idea. He was like, we can open an entertainment center in the company and I can like head it, blah, 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 blah. And Layla smiles and I thought, oh, maybe she has agreed. But then sends him to go and work as an intern in the company, and everybody is bringing him files to check, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this guy is an artist. You cannot lock an artist in an office and expect them to perform. They will not perform. Their minds do not work that way. And so he didn't even last there. And he was very upset about it. I felt for him as well because he was clearly like in a good space of mind space. Like he had a thought and it was a good thing, by the way. It would have made sense. The way he explained it to the sister, it would have made sense. But Layla did not appreciate him. And this Layla is upset with them because the dad was never there for her. Like, not the way a dad is supposed to be. Sending money, as I said, is not being there for your child. And so she was carrying all this, burden and all this pain and coming and dumping it onto the rest of the family, who all of them had their own issues with the dad. Because this man was a polygamous man and he had so many kids out of wedlock that, all of them must have had their own problems. And don't forget that Edo's character has two little boys who will grow up without a father. By the way, they did not appear in this movie, but they will grow up without a father. So they'll have their own, demons to carry with them. And this one is taking it out on the entire family. I know they were just there after the money, but he had given it to them. They didn't steal. He had promised it to them. He had left that money to them in his will. But she was behaving like, you don't deserve it. So he got closer to his brother. That's Dami and Femi. They got closer because they were calling each other brother. They were appreciating each other more, which I loved to see. But yeah, so he called and he was like, you're not doing well, blah, blah, blah. Actually, did he call him the first time while he was still in the UK? Because he plays for, I don't know, Manchester something at, a football team in London. And so while he's there, his fiance Adaora is preparing for their wedding in Nigeria. And so this guy, the management team, they want him to be seen around with women of influence, like not, as that woman put it, the manager put it, like not a housekeeper's daughter. And I was like, yo, where's the daughter paying for the sins of the mother? And not even since she works as a housekeeper, that does not mean that she somehow is lowered or something because of that. And this is the daughter. She educated her from working hard. Like, that woman made me upset, by the way. And so I'm happy that Dami didn't fall for all that crap that she was putting out. But then there was this lady who just showed up and was throwing herself onto him, and somebody took a photo, put it online, and so they had their own squabbles. That is Adaora and Dami, because she had seen that. And also, when he didn't want to reveal his personal life in public, and so he had this interview because he was supposed to go back to Nigeria and play some game for a charity thing. And so while he was there being interviewed, they kept asking about his personal life, especially about Adaora and calling her the housekeeper's daughter and stuff. And so he did not respond, and she was there. He did not respond the way she expected him to respond. And so that was the first time she got upset with him. Then later on, again, she saw the video of, because that lady went to kiss him and on the lips, and he pulled away actually. But like depending on how the photo was taken and what angle the photo was taken, it can be shown like, yeah, they did it. And so she was upset about that as well. He kept apologizing and stuff, and they went to Dubai. That was a little bit later. But then back at home, as I said, like the story was just revolving around the kids. These other people, the sisters, the two sisters from the first wife, the one who passed on, those ones, they were working with their, was it another mother again? Like one of Chief Daddy's other wives. And they were there, they had a boutique. They were selling dresses and blah, 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 blah. But these sisters starts fighting over one man, and this man, Prince Sony, they start fighting over Prince Sony, and this Prince Sony is working with Lila. He's Lila's lawyer, and so the ladies want him. That is Tinu and Tenny. They're the sisters. They wanted Prince Sony, and this man takes one of them out for dinner or something, for a date. That is Tenny. And while they're there, he asks for the other sister's number. So of course Tenny leaves. She gives the number. I was surprised that she did. She gives the number, then she goes back to the boutique and she's upset with the sister, which was just crazy because this Nikki Williams, they were working together there. And so like it just caused an entire thing. But then eventually, that other sister goes out with him and she's like, yeah, no, what you did was wrong. And so he stops dating her. He goes and starts dating the other sister because your sister said this. And then eventually they are together, all of three of them. Because he said, like, I can be this is a polygamous state. So I can marry both of you. And I was like, sisters, I beg. Sisters, you're being married to this one man. But anyway, that's how they ended their story with him. But then that boutique, they had to sell it because it wasn't doing great. Tenny kept leaving, going for dates, and taking the expensive clothes from the shop and putting them on for her dates. Tino was also not focusing so much. Nikki kept complaining about these two. And so eventually they had to sell. So somebody else is the one who came to make them sign. And after the documents were signed, Layla walks in. Like, this thing, it's like they knew what they wanted to do, but it wasn't really, really well planned. So Layla comes in and she's like, yeah, I bought it. And they're taking things from the shop and they don't know where they were taking them. I mean, if you've bought the shop, where are you taking the clothes to? Can't they just be there and then it just continues being a boutique? Because it was crazy. I didn't understand that part. And so they exchanged words. But yeah, the money they made was just to pay their debts and they were left broke. Like it's like Layla had decided, this family, I'm going to leave all of them out on the streets. And I did not understand why. That hatred she had for them was just too big at the beginning. Anyway, when Dami comes back to Nigeria, he goes to play and this guy hits him and he falls down and he hurts his leg. And so he can't play the games that they were prepared. He calls his manager to tell her, and this lady spoke. Okay, she was just a racist person. And so he thinks about other things to do. He's thinking about the future after football and stuff like that. So by this time, Femi had gone to a producer to help him make his music. They threw him out. They were like, yeah, we can't do that and we can't pay. And then he was at a club with Sissy Ice Cream. That's the adoptive sister from the first movie as well. And so this one helped him out actually, because she was like, you know what, come in. They were going to a club and she told the bouncers to let him in. They go in. He sees somebody who has made it in the music industry. And so the sister, that Sissy Ice Cream, goes to him and they introduce themselves. And this man is like there, you know how people, when they've made a little money, they behave like ballers and stuff. So he has women around him, blah, blah, blah. And so Femi looks at that and he admires that and he wants that. But remember, he has a girlfriend. This girlfriend that I said in the first part, that she's behaves more like a groupie. She was crazy, but I loved her dancing was so enthusiastic. Like it was too much, but I loved her energy. So this man tells him that, you know how I made money? I went to Dubai. And so they decide, okay, fine, we'll go to Dubai. And CC Ice Cream goes like, I have the money to take us to Dubai, but we can't go all of us. That means that his girlfriend has to remain behind. So they go, the two of them. When they reach there, that's when they meet Omar. So Omar is at the airport. He picks them up, you know, like they're Nigerians. He's Nigerian. He loves them so much. Put them in his car. He has a taxi, a pink limousine, like pink long limousine. Fuchsia, actually. It's not even just pink. It is a fuchsia color. And so he takes them to the hotel. And these people start spending money that, you know, they're supposed to be on a budget, remember, but both of them are spending like madness. So of course they have to leave the checkout and go back home. But Omar is like, you know, you came to perform, but you haven't gained what you came here for. Why don't we have a plan? So you remember that man who had told Femi that he has a plan, that, you know, he went to Dubai, there's an agent there, he's the one who sent him there. Omar lies and says, yeah, I know the person. I'll help you get to him. He takes them to the Coca-Cola stadium in the UAE, and they start, you know, imagining him performing inside there and stuff. And so he takes them to where he lives. And I was like, I know usually, because I was in the UAE and I know how those people live. I was like, these people cannot be living this good. There are just a few of them in that house. And they had like a dining table. I was like, hey, in which home? In which house in the UAE that Africans are living this lavish? Unless anyway they are there on good visas and they have good jobs, all of them, then they can. But I just laughed to myself and I was like, okay. So they started living there as well for a while. And then he calls the brother now. This is Femi. He calls Dami and he tells him I'm in Dubai and things are not going well. You know, these people, blah, 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 blah. And so Dami, because Adaora is upset with him, he apologizes and he goes like, why can't we just leave for a while? Adaora is adamant she doesn't want to go back to him. She even gave him back the ring. But the mom, that is Madame Pat, she talks to her and she's like, you know, this man, blah, blah, blah. And so tells her, you have to do it what he says. And so they go to Dubai, all of them, plus the girlfriend now, famous girlfriend. They go there and they surprise them and they go to a different house now because Dami had money. Like football money is good money. So he had a different house, a big mansion where I think they moved there. While they're there, Dami is the one who makes a phone call and realizes that there's no agent that this guy was supposed to come and be signed to. And so he tells the brother, and Femi is upset. They want to fight Omar, but Omar, he's apologizing and is like, I was just afraid I didn't want you to leave without achieving what you came for, blah, blah, blah. So all of them are upset with him. They're chasing him away. Even Lady Sissy Ice Cream, because she has started, I think, falling for him. So as he's walking away, he comes back with like this pamphlet. There was a function at a particular club where he was like, why don't you just perform here? You came to perform, just go and perform for this crowd, even if it's not a lot of people, just do it. Femi didn't want to, but everybody convinced him to. So they go there and they perform, and of course Omar and the girlfriend, they dance for him and they hype the crowd for him. Like, it was just an amazing scene. As I said, I love the younger cast in this one because they really showed some maturity. And so they dance and they do what, and he performs and he's happy. And so it's time for them to go back to Lagos. And they do. They go back. The moment they get back, they actually, while they were there, Dami and Femi, they spoke about their business because Femi tells Dami, like, I had this business idea of putting an entertainment thing in the company, and I talked to Leila and she refused. So he reaches out to Leila. That is Dami. He calls Leila and they speak, and he's like, we are in the same boat. Dad, our father was like a very polygamous man. Most of us did not know him. I didn't grow up knowing him, but we were taken care of. We always had money. We always had food. But then he wasn't there. And that's when the sister says, like, money is not a replacement for a father. And so they talk and talk. And I think he calms her down enough to understand that She needs family just like family needs her, and she has to be part of it. And so he talks about the business idea, and that they're going to need around 20 million, I think, nairas, if I'm not mistaken. And so she agrees. And so by the time they're going back, that deal is already on the table. They're going to be doing it. So at least he had brought them together. Now they get back to Lagos, and it's their wedding. That is Adaora and Dami. They are at their wedding, and they're kissing, and people are dancing, and blah blah blah. Everybody's celebrating. Then Leila comes, and Lady K sees her, and she's like, "What do you want here? Who invited her?" And Dami says, "I'm the one who invited her." He gives a speech. She gives a speech. It was like, why is she talking to everybody? She didn't tell them if they're going to get their money or not. Like, that was the one thing I was like, I mean, this entire thing was for these people to inherit. But you have come, you've spoken. Yes, you have started that group thing with your brothers, but you haven't said if they're going to get their inheritance or not. So why did you make Chief Daddy too, if by the end we wouldn't have known if they're getting their money or not? So they just kept dancing at the party, and Femi stands up and sings that song of his again. It's called Moving Mad. And so everybody is dancing and dancing, and they're giving him, and you know how Nigerians do weddings and birthdays and parties and stuff like that. So they're showering him with money, and they're dancing and they're dancing, and it's at the wedding, everybody is dancing. And I think that's where the movie ends. They were all together. But my question was still, did they get their money? Did they get the inheritance? Maybe they talked about it. I did not hear. But no. Because there were these reporters who were just reporting things about the family and embarrassing them everywhere. I was like, okay, fine. But like, I haven't told what really happened, like they usually do the reviews. But so just go and watch it. I didn't follow like how I usually do, like from step to step. So I'm not going to do that. But go and watch it and see for yourself. But I was left asking, did they get the inheritance? Because I don't remember anybody mentioning it. I don't remember Leila saying that, yeah, I'm going to give the money to you guys. But everybody was happy, everybody was clapping, everybody was dancing. And maybe that is just a step ahead to them, a step forward. And maybe they're going to get their money eventually. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The other thing is, she came as the MD stroke the CEO, and the father had left the entire, is it company or the entire estate to Dami. So how did this other woman become the CEO? And how did she end up with half the shares, like more than half of the shares, so that she can become a majority shareholder? I was left with so many questions. Honestly, like, yeah, I loved Femi's growth. I love that Dami came back and he pushed forward with the wedding, even though at some point I was like, does he want to cheat? Does he blah, blah, blah? But see, if you just watch the trailer, you can think that, yeah, he was cheating. But then you see the movie itself, and you're like, yeah, no, he wasn't. And then the reporting didn't help things, like bloggers, blah, blah, blah. They didn't help the situation. But then everything worked out at the end. And for the family, I love that they all came together eventually through this shared experience. But my question again and again and again is, did they get the inheritance at the end? So those were my things. It was a second part, but it also didn't feel like it answered most of the questions that we wanted to know. It felt like it was still also like a cliffhanger sort of. And it's like we were supposed to wait for season 3, like a part 3, so that we can see, okay, so did they get their money and how did they get to spend it? Because, yeah, it was just Evie. But anyway, I loved all the characters, as I said. Some of them did not come back. Mr. Damijo did not come back, but yeah, the movie still moved. I love the chemistry between Adaora and Dami, because, hey, Mauli Gaba. I beg. I love that they gave more focus to the younger cast. This thing was started, as I said before, but it's like most of these people were just there to feel, I don't know, because they were in the first part, they had to be in the second part. Some of them did not have lines. And if they did, it was during the family things that all of them were there. And they said like not more than 2-3 words in the entire movie. And I'm sure they were paid a lot of money because these are veteran actors. And the fact that they shot some scenes in Dubai, I don't know if they were on location in Dubai, but I feel like they were. If that was the case, that was more money that I don't think they should have spent. But anyway, it was for them to tell this narrative, and it helped grow Femi's, character. So that was good. The acting was good. The direction was good. Cinematography was good. The fashion, Nigerians know how to dress. Like the ladies in this movie, they rocked. Like the fashions they had, yo, they're amazing. Go and watch so that you can see for yourself. The music this time, I had a couple, and because I think I was focused mostly just so that I could hear anything else other than Femi's moving mad. And yeah, there are a couple of good songs over there, so go and listen. Overall, I'm going to give this movie, I think I'll give it a 6 still, because yes, it's a little bit better than the first one in my books, but there were still so many cliffhangers, so many questions I still had by the end of the movie. And when you do a second movie, you're supposed to be finishing up everyone's storyline, wrapping them up nicely, neatly, so that by the time somebody is finishing the second one, they're like, oh, the questions I had when the first part ended, now they've all been answered. But this one, the second part ended and I still had more questions. And I understood why while I was Googling this movie, I saw people being like, is there a part 3? Because yeah, a lot of things were not answered. But yeah, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But anyway, it was still interesting. And if you watch the first one, it's only fair that you watch the second part. So yeah, go to Netflix, watch both of them. If you haven't watched Chief Daddy yet, watch it and also watch Chief Daddy 2. You will laugh, I promise. It's not like so funny. And the comedy in it is not everyone's cup of tea, but I promise you, you'll have some good laughs here and there. Okay? So yeah, go to Netflix, watch it, then come back and tell me if you agree with me down in the comment section below. And on my Instagram, Mimi's Musings Podcast, remember to follow me over there as well. And when I post this, tell me if you agree with me or if you do not. While you do that, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so that whenever I upload something new, you're going to be amongst the first people to come and listen. Okay?